All right, welcome to a Friday Reads, where I talk about what I read, what I'm reading, what I hope to get to next. This is like a slightly early one for me. Normally I film these on Wednesday, post them Friday. Today I'm filming it Tuesday because it's graduation week. When you are seeing this, I will have gone through the whole ceremony. I will officially have my PhD. It's all very exciting. More just excited to be done with all the stress of it all. But by the time you're seeing this, I'm done with that. So it's exciting. And I'm getting ready for my vacation, which is equally exciting. But that is to say, I'm probably done reading as much as I have been reading, at least till the Friday Reads update, so this is probably going to be just as insightful as if I had done this tomorrow. And I have finished 3 things since we last talked. The first one, Dawn, by Octavia Butler. It's weird, and it's dark. Yeah, I think of the Octavia Butler I've read, and I've read the entire Patternist series, and I've read Kindred. This one, although not a debut, I think actually written in the 80s, so the most modern of her works I've read is dated the most for me. It's just extremely heteronormative in a lot of its premise for character interactions, if that makes sense, especially in the latter half of the story. It doesn't necessarily detract from the messages or the plot or what's happening, but it was just very blatant to me that this is a book that was written in the 80s, I guess, if that makes sense. And there's just some disturbing things that happens to these characters because of the premise. It also ages itself in ways similar to like Asimov or something, where what causes the world to end for Lilith to be in her position is related to Cold War stuff, which this book was written in the 80s, so that kind of makes sense. Also, sorry if you're hearing wind or sounds from outside. It seems louder around me than normal, but we are persevering. So I liked this, but I didn't love it, and I'm still going to continue with the series. But yeah, in general, I think some of the themes and intentionally how it's done is really fascinating. And I have to be vague because this is definitely one of those sci-fi thrillers where a lot of the intrigue at the start of the book is uncovering the mystery with the main character. So to talk about the interesting things, I would be essentially not spoiling, but revealing lots of stuff at the beginning half of this book. So if you want to know stuff about that, I do a spoiler patron vlog, and I'll have more of my thoughts there. I also finished two books actually today, but we'll talk about the one I finished first, and that's Read Famine. I needed to finish this because I'm going out of town, and the audiobook hold is going away. And this book is very popular at my library, so that I couldn't get it again in time for Jess Owen's book club. And this book I knew would make me angry, but ooh, yeah, it makes me angry. It's very disturbing. There is a chapter that is incredibly graphic in terms of what happens to the human body and brain when they're going through a famine and starvation. So just be aware of that if you pick this up. I did mark it in the Discord, which chapter that I thought was particularly difficult to read. But yeah, in general, it's just a very frustrating book to read, but it definitely provides a lot of context for a part of history that I just don't know a lot about from the Eastern European perspective, specifically Ukraine. So definitely did its job. 5-star nonfiction. I think it was really well executed in terms of its pacing and how the information was given. And yeah, I think it's a really great nonfiction. Highly recommend. And I did enjoy pairing it with Gates of Europe, which I'm still working on, but I don't have to rush that one because I own it. And also that one's more of like a historical text in terms of like just dry facts, dates, and figures. And that one I read slower because I think if I tried to marathon that out, I would not have a good time. So I just read a couple chapters of that every few days, and it's really interesting. It actually, side note, got me into getting the board game app Through the Ages, because I kind of just wanted to play a 4X Civilization type game without having to play Civilization, because 4X video games and me are not allowed to be friends, because when I play them, I have to play them until I finish, which is usually like 30 to 40 hours. So that's an entire weekend. I get very addicted to those type of games. So this board game version is like a good taste. But yeah, that Gates of Europe kind of triggered me going down that rabbit hole. And the book that I just finished like 10 minutes ago, and I'm obsessed with, and I hadn't talked about it since my TBR this month. It was on my TBR, but it wasn't like in my, maybe I'll read this book next from last week, and that's Nettle Bone. Oh my god, I love this book. I think I'm going to have to make a standalone review for it, but oh my goodness. Do I love this book? I need to get myself a copy. I think I'm going to get myself the UK copy because I just personally think that cover is a better representation of the tone of the book, maybe. I mean, the cover of the book for US is just the main character in her cloak. like, that does actually, she wears that a lot in the book, so it makes sense. I just prefer the UK cover in this instance just because of the dark fairy tale tones and vibes. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. T. Kingfisher could be a new favorite author. I'm unsure. We're 10 out of 10 on everything I've read by her so far. Yeah, I picked this up because just everyone was having such mixed opinions in the Discord, and when I was doing reviews for my April roundup, which is coming out next week. I have filmed that. Haven't edited it, but I have filmed it. And I needed to know, and I picked it up, and it was amazing. Like I said, I don't have coherent thoughts at the moment, but I love the banter between the characters. I love the dark fairy tale tone and vibes. Just this motley crew I got to go on this quest with was fantastic. And I say quest, it's more of like there was a goal, and they were trying to achieve it. It was amazing. If you like the movie Stardust, like, it's not that movie. But, like, I've been craving something like Stardust ever since I've consumed that movie, and it's hard to really pinpoint what that is and how to find it. Like, even the book Stardust doesn't live up to what the movie Stardust is, and I've been trying. And this is the closest I've ever come. And it's not even technically the same subgenre, because this is a darker fairy tale, for sure. Like, in many ways, very dark. But I think there was some of the whimsy about it, and just the main character being a 30-year-old who doesn't know what she's doing in life and she loves to craft things was amazing. Mara's amazing. Everyone's amazing in this book. Just like in the short story I'd read by T. Kingfisher, the animals, I think, are so well represented as characters in their own right, and I think that's just, like, really fun. It was charming. I had a great time. If I ever have coherent thoughts, I will make a standalone review video. We'll see when that happens, but I'm obsessed. So good. I mean, I read Discord of the Gods and Nettle Bone this month, and I'm struggling. I don't even know which one I liked more. Like, they're very different experiences, but both of them had that factor of, like, I'm so love being in these pages. This is amazing. So those are the things I have finished. I am continuing on with The Hidden Girl. I am this far. I think I have 5 stories left. And I think since I last talked to you guys, I'm done with the trilogy. I think I was talking about in this book there's a trilogy about a singularity thing, and I've kind of figured out the whole arc of the singularity discussion in here, which is really good. But the one story that I read that still actually like ping-pongs around in my head a bit is Dispatches from the Cradle, the Hermit, 48 Hours in the Sea of Massachusetts. And that was a fascinating story to me, because it's one of those post-climate change apocalypse sci-fi short stories that discusses, well, the climate's extremely different now. We have different life forms. People are still existing here. And it's kind of with the argument of, well, if we actually cooled the planet again, we are going to be killing off the way of life of these people still on the planet and these creatures. And it was just an interesting perspective, an interesting future look of what things could be. And I really liked it, and it was very introspective, and I think I was feeling that the night I read it. So that one's definitely stuck with me. I have the title story still to go. Haven't gotten there yet. Oh, Memories of My Mother. I really liked that one. That one was like 4 pages, but I really liked it. So yeah, it's been a really fun collection. I've really enjoyed reading this. So hopefully before I go on my trip, I can finish this up, because when I go on my trip, I want to focus on 2 New Orleans books. But I have a couple days after filming this before I leave. But if not, I can finish it when I get back. Other things that I've started, because I cannot be stopped. I was pretty depressed last Friday, and I don't know why, but my brain's like, well, I want to start something new. Like, that was going to give me serotonin. And so I started The Bonehunters by Steven Erikson. So I read the prologue and the first chapter, which is about like 70 pages if you've read a Malazan book. So I'm like not very far along in, but I've actually read a fair number of pages, and it's actually really nice to be back in a Malazan book again. I can't really say anything other than I'm liking that. I think actually the way that the first chapter has introduced character perspectives has been one of my favorites. I definitely feel closer to some of the characters. Like, I'm confused, but so are my point of views, and I'm just interested about how these chess pieces are going to be set up, because that's definitely how a Malazan book is. It's like we're setting up all the chess pieces, and then we'll see how it all comes crashing down, or converges, as everyone in the community likes to say. So that's exciting. And then I also did start Fool's Errand, but I'm like super early days. I'm maybe in chapter 2. I just like can tell it's a book that I want to like read when I'm in a mood to read for hours, and I haven't been in that headspace very often. Like even with Nettle Bone, it was like 30 minutes at a time. And I'm really liking the writing. I think I'm gonna really like Fitz in the Tawny Man trilogy. Fitz is much older in this trilogy than he was in the first one, and I think I'm enjoying that so far. And yeah, it's just nice being back in Robin Hobb's prose. Everyone says it all the time. There's just something fluid and beautiful about them. Like they're accessible, but also lyrical and beautiful without being too dense. Like there's a balance there that I can't quite pinpoint, but it's done masterfully. So I believe that is all the stuff I'm in the middle of. And like I said, the next stuff I'm picking up is going to be in a vlog that I'll hopefully post at the end of next week. So you'll have to check out that vlog to find out. I've already talked about it in my TBR video, so I guess if you really want to know, you can go watch the TBR video. But I'm going to try to maintain some mystery. And I'll just do a little mini book haul because I actually, last weekend, went to the bookstore and got rid of all the books I had in my unhaul video. And they bought them all. And I got store credit. And I was like, yes. They almost never buy all the books. They're kind of stingy because they're a small store, so they can't take everything in. Because if you own property in Boston, you don't have a lot of space. But they took all my books, so I got like over $70 in credit. And so I treated myself. Like I turned in a crate of books and decided, okay, I'm going to buy one book for now because I want to buy more books once I move, but it's like trying not to buy things I have to carry or pay other people to move. But I couldn't resist. It was there, and it was so pretty. So I bought Kai, and it's stunning. Like the way that the accessories are like in this beautiful foil and the titles in this foil. And I really like that it's a yellow dusk jacket, and I got to read the author's note. I really like it. I do like that this book in particular has decoed edges because I think that fits with the whole, this is like, a retelling of something ancient, and decoed edges are, I think, based off Jashana's video, which I'll link down below, kind of sort of how we used to have to cut pages when we printed them. Now it's all artificial, but that was, I think, a part of the original printing press. Like I said, Jashana did a fun video where she was looking into a lot of like different printing styles and their origins. But I'm so happy to have this so I can reread it one day. Oh, it's so pretty. Like, it's so pretty. And then I got surprise mail, but I shouldn't be surprised because it's from Evie. And I'm really excited about it, especially since I just finished Nettle Bone. So maybe I'll get to this before I leave too, because it's very short. But that's The Fourth Island. This is by the same author who does All the Horses of Iceland, which I read earlier this year. And I'm really excited to get to this because apparently it has something to do with knitting, which I knit a lot. And I do not know if you can hear the sirens that are happening outside, but welcome to Boston. I'm just really excited to get to this. And she also gave it to my friend Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads. We buddy read a bunch of stuff. Like right now, we're supposed to be buddy reading Fool's Errand, but she's also behind, so everything's fine. And I think this is the one we might also just like impromptu buddy read because we're both knitters and stuff like that. So really excited to have this. It matches actually really well with All the Horses of Iceland, so I now just suddenly have a random little collection of Sarah Tomy books, which is quite nice. So that's it for this video. If you made it this far, leave a bone as the emoji, because Nettle Bone, oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed. I cannot wait to read more T. Kingfisher. Like, all the genres that she does, all the age groups, there's just such a good potential, because the stuff that I love about her books, I think, are things that'll be consistent, even across different tones and writing styles and things. Oh, I'm just so excited. Potential new favorite author is just always like the most exciting thing. But otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.